The machine has been in this room for 3 weeks. It's enormous, taller than he is, half built, half guessed. Wires going nowhere, parts that almost fit. And he built every piece of it himself. There are sticky notes on it, dozens of them. Ideas, corrections, questions he never answered. One of them just says, later. He wrote that one first. He's standing next to it now, pen in hand. Not writing, just holding the pen. Like holding it is the same as using it. You know this. The open tab you haven't closed, the draft you haven't sent, the thing that's almost done. And somehow, that's exactly why you can't touch it. Almost done is the hardest place to be. On the wall, there's a calendar. Every date crossed out, one by one. Neat, deliberate lines. Not the chaotic scratches of someone rushing. These were drawn slowly, each morning probably. A ritual. In the corner of the calendar, a sticky note. It says, "This time for real." He's written that before. You can see the ghost of the old one underneath. The last cross date, yesterday. Today's date, empty. His hand reaches toward it. He doesn't turn the page. Some days, the hardest thing isn't the work. It's marking that you didn't do it. Then something shifts. He looks up. Not at the machine, not at the calendar, at the window. There's a sticky note on the glass. It says, "Don't look outside." He wrote it himself, months ago probably. Productivity advice, self-imposed. He looks outside anyway. Outside, a street lamp. Rain on the glass, barely. Nothing worth looking at. And yet, he looks. Not because there's something out there, because there's too much in here. In 1926, a psychologist named Graham Wallas described something strange. He called it the incubation effect. When you stop actively working on a problem, when you walk away, look out the window, let your mind drift, the brain doesn't stop. It keeps running the problem in the background, quietly, without you, like a process you forgot you left open. Watch his hand. He doesn't notice it, but his fingers start tapping on the desk. Not the nervous tap, not impatience, a rhythm, something working itself out. His eyes are still on the window. His hands are already somewhere else. There's a sticky note on the desk that says, "Focus," 5 exclamation marks. He wrote that one on a good day. This is not that day. And yet, something is happening. He leans back, looks at the ceiling. The machine is still unfinished. The calendar is still behind him. The sticky notes are still everywhere. But something in his posture changed. Before, he was stuck. Now, he's waiting. Those aren't the same thing. Stuck is when you're pushing and nothing moves. Waiting is when you've stopped pushing because you finally understand that the door opens from the other side. You felt the difference, even if you never had words for it. Morning. The same desk, the same machine, the same sticky notes. But the pen is moving now, fast. Notes filling the page. Equations, diagrams, arrows pointing everywhere. He didn't sleep on it. He stopped fighting it. There's a difference. Sleep is escape. This was permission. Permission to let the brain do what the brain does when you get out of its way. He didn't figure it out by trying harder. He didn't figure it out by being smarter. He figured it out by stopping. Not giving up, stopping. One of the sticky notes on the machine says, "Almost there." He wrote that 3 weeks ago. He was right. He just didn't know that stopping was part of getting there. Before he came back to the desk, he did something small. He walked to the corner of the room, sat down, put nothing in his hands, closed his eyes. There's a sticky note on the wall in that corner. It says, "Sit here." He has no memory of writing it, but he sat there anyway. Not to sleep, not to meditate, just to stop feeding the machine with urgency.
Stop!
Urgency is noise, and the answer was trying to come through. When you stop, is it because you've given up, or because your brain is still working? Maybe you weren't stuck. Maybe you were almost there. Maybe you weren't stuck. Maybe you were almost there.